Hi, today I'm doing the hashtag wear a mask tag. This was created by Brian over at Bookish. It's a tag where you get to talk about 3 books that you like and where characters either wear a mask, B, conceal something about themselves, or C, wear something protective on their head. Brian's made this tag to kind of try and kind of generate more of kind of a climate of people just wearing masks. We're in the midst of the COVID pandemic. I'm talking about this from up in Canada, where it has not become as such a political issue. It's not to say that there aren't people that don't wear masks and have strong opinions of personal freedoms and stuff like that, but we don't have anything where there's like one particular political party that has been anti-mask and another one that is, and there's some sort of particular allegiance one way or the other. That said, you get varying levels of mask wearing. It's funny, I just went to the grocery store tonight, and there was actually a lot more people wearing masks tonight than I've seen in the past in this particular place. Myself, I wear a mask every day. I wear a mask at work. Here, let's do the fashion show. So as you can see, I have a mask for every day of my working week. I'm basically treat masks like they're socks, you know. So I wear one for my entire 8-hour shift. Work at a group home. For people with disabilities, and I want wear it, and then when I get home, they go into the laundry, so I can clean them all at once, and they're ready for next week. So that's it's a pretty regular part of my life. Got another mask for doing all my grocery shopping and shopping on the weekends and stuff like that, but. Now Steve Donoghue did this tag, and he added stuff to it because he's a collaborative fellow, that guy, and he and Brian have this special kind of give and take relationship, and this has definitely enriched it a little bit there. So what is the mask wearing like in your location? As I said, it's not a political thing. There's definitely varying levels of you see. More, I think I see more people wearing masks at this point than I did earlier. Part of that has just been kind of logistics and people getting into the habit of things. We are starting to kind of come to flu season. Obviously, things have been a little bit more organized in Canada, but that isn't to say that we aren't actually, now that things are about to start getting colder. Going to get into the flu season, that there isn't like a lot of concerns that we're having a rise again in cases. So there has been a lot of emphasis on trying to maintain kind of doing the social distancing and wearing masks and stuff like that, which is probably one of the reasons why I wanted to do the tag. Is just like, this is something that I feel like just should be kind of normalized within the community. If there is kind of enough of people to sort of who are doing it, it just becomes a matter of course, a matter of habit. It's not a big thing that we have to kind of get our backs up over. That said, Steve, he being the troublemaker is like, when you see people out in the community, for me, I would say it's like, within kind of confined spaces, like within a grocery store, stuff like that, not wearing masks. Do you think, would you say anything about them not wearing a mask? And I'd have to say, no, no, I don't think that is going to be a way that is going to actually change people's behaviors. That said, I'm all for when, stores and stuff like that say, please don't come into our store if you're not going to wear a mask, because we're trying to protect our employees. The employees, they have to go to work. They don't have any choice about interacting. Like if I see someone without a mask, I can turn and walk away. If I'm working in a store, you don't have that choice. So I think that's a very fair and reasonable thing for stores to say, you're on private property. If you want to come in here, you need to wear a mask. That said, if people are out and about and it's an area where no one's got an official policy that they're not going to wear a mask, that is up to them. I hope that the more people that wear masks, the more we just sort of normalize it, the more we hopefully depoliticize it, that more people wear masks. I'm much more interested in results than I am about wanting to get into a heated argument with someone who's not wearing a mask, who is then going to start spluttering and blah all over the place, and who probably, for all I know, has been hanging out with 60 of the closest buddies last weekend and God knows what. So the good thing I find about wearing a mask is, especially early on when I was wearing a mask in stores and there wasn't as many people wearing masks, people would see me with a mask on and they'd take a step back, which is like, mission accomplished. Great. I'm getting all my social space. And I mean, I have a large personal bubble as it is. So that's all good. So yes, let's get on to the tag now that I'm like 6 minutes or more into this, into this tag. So for first, I've got a couple of things here. So the 3 books where a character wears a mask, and I'll start off with a comic book, because Steve did all comic books, but I'm not much in the way of superheroes. I'm more of the indie tortured soul. Nobody's in capes and flying around. That said, I was able to find a fair number of ones. This one is Castle Waiting, which is set in a very gentle fantasy world, but it's a fantasy world which has a lot of connections to real life history. And indeed, this particular issue, they're talking about a place called Poveglia, the lagoon in Venice, and it's the island of no return, where when then came the Black Death, every physician, surgeon, or otherwise was called on to don the mask. And the Dodge turned Poveglia into a Rosetto for the victims. And there you have the picture of them donning the mask, which is the plague mask, which is what the physicians wore at the time. So, unfortunately, these are the historical precedents of wearing the mask. And indeed, a physician character throughout the series, unfinished so far series, wears this physician's mask, which so it's not superheroes, but it's a little bit of history there. And the artist and writer Linda Medley, I support her on Patreon, and I've been hearing all about her issues and travels throughout the world. At this point, she was unfortunately out of the United States when the pandemics hit, and has finally made her way back, but is still working to get everything kind of set up for herself. So my thoughts go out to her, and this is really a series that I should talk about at some point. Another one would be Richard Sala's The Chuckling Whatsit, which is it's full of people with masks, of a kind of a psychopath who is killing astrologers. It's very it's very kind of woodcutty, kind of German expressionist kind of a work, which is really fun, very pulpy, fun that way too. Lots of murders and dames in peril. So for B, conceals a character that conceals something about themselves, I would have to definitely go back to Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, where very, very, very few of the characters in here are exactly what they seem, in a very kind of twisty, turny kind of way, in this kind of Dickensian London setup, but written in a very kind of modern sensibility, and very much from the kind of the female point of view. That would be a good one. To go to some old school science fiction, we have The Moon is the Harsh Mistress, which has a computer called Mike in here, who dons a personality, a revolutionary personality, actually multiple personalities within this book, and which drives the plot forward of these revolutionaries on the moon, kind of agitators in their own way for lunar rights in a kind of a American revolutionary sort of way. And another one that I have to put for concealing faces, I'm going to go with the hero with 1,000 faces. The hero dons a lot of different faces in this nonfiction work from Joesph Campbell, which is all about kind of the hero archetype and how that figure kind of repeats thousands and thousands of times throughout all our stories. That in some ways all those faces, all those personas are masks. So think about when you don one of these, you're donning a different persona, a different mask. The romance of the mask, the joy is that way. Think of a mask as, if I was going to argue to people, think of a mask as a way of kind of releasing yourself from one self and getting to be another self underneath that mask. If that would ever convince anyone, but I don't know if I'm convincing people, as I'm just trying to, like, hey, let's just relax and have fun with it and have all different kinds of colors. And C, a book in which a character wears something protective on their heads. And now I'm surprised that maybe Steve didn't bring this up, but Conan, I'm sure, wears many sporting helmets, as he's going through his adventures that maybe have saved his life, as his skull has not been cleaved as he is cleaving all those other skulls, as he rampages through the barbarian world. So yeah, that is my version of the hashtag wear a mask tag. And sort of in the spirit of this tag, I'm not tagging anyone. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just gently encouraging you. And it's fun to look through your books and see characters who wear masks, whether literally, figurative, or put on a nice protective helmet, just for fun, just for the fun of it. Thank you, Brian, for the tag. And wear a mask. Wear a mask. You're going to protect people. I'm wear a mask because I want to protect the ones I love in my family, and I want to protect the people that I work with in my life. So hopefully think about less about yourself and think about more about others, and maybe that'll help you in your mask journeys. Yeah. And you know what? I'm also being selfish because I just want all those people to stick around. I don't want them to get sick. All right. More videos later.